Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 130, Jump Street Podcast. How you doing, Billy?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my phone.
It had the,
Put
the
down
volume
the
up. It does it to me too sometimes.
no, I set everything up with the volume down, but sometimes there's like
Technology.
extra volume things. Like I put it like turn the notifications off, turn the sound down, no thing, and then it still brings the sound out. But welcome, episode 130. We have a very early episode today. If you're joining us in the United States, if you're joining us in Europe, this might be one of the first times you're watching us live.
Yeah.
So if you're watching us live, welcome. Thanks for joining. We have a very special guest on today, Frankie Morales. We have only a limited amount of time with Frankie today, so I'm going to be brief with our intro. But please, if you don't already, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. We have a Facebook, we have a YouTube, we have an iTunes. And we have, subscribe, follow, like, all the things. We also have a Patreon. If you want to be a Patreon, you can be a Patreon for as little as $3 a month. We have tons of exclusive content. We have inside outs. Those are our trick tips. We have section reviews. We have access to exclusive content. And if you become a Patreon for as little as $3 a month, you are automatically entered into a random drawing every month that we just randomly select someone who's a Patreon and they win something from our online store. That could be a shirt, a hat, a mug, a tank top. And we just added some stuff to our online store. So check that out. Also, I'm going to be brief. If you're looking to, get healthy this year, we got Jump Sups. Check out jumpsups.com. Turmeric, vitamins. We got krill oil. We got CBD oil. So check all that stuff out. I know we're kind of rushing through it right now, but we don't have Frankie for that long, so I'm just being brief here. But before we get into Frankie, we just want to touch base and shout out our sponsor, Blank. So,
Blank, thank you for sponsoring this episode as usual. Everybody check out the new Sean Keen Pro Model Blank skate that's out now. Available worldwide at your favorite skate shop. Now available in sizes 6. Oh, this is US sizes 6 to 10.5 and 12 to 12.5. So this re-release now has much more sizes. If you were inclined before and you had a smaller or bigger foot, your chance now is to get the Sean Keen Pro Model Blank skate. Awesome skate. I've been riding it for a while. Super, super solid. Rollerblade quality. Sole plate designed by Kyle Sola. Got the stock 60mm hydrogen wheels, which I feel are some of the best wheels I've ever rode. Awesome big-ass shock absorber. Nice puffy liner. Awesome top quality skate. Everybody check out the Blank Sean Keen Pro Model skate. Check them out on Instagram at Blank Rolling Products or go to blankrollingproducts.com and check out more info about the skate on their website. Thank you, Blank, for sponsoring this episode.
Man, I love one of my favorite descriptions was awesome big ass. What was it? Awesome big ass shock absorber.
Yeah, it is
awesome
man.
big ass shock absorber.
It is, man. It's
Nice.
a big green poofy shock absorber inside of it. So you got to say
Nice.
that sometimes because people need that for all
Yeah,
the gappers
absolutely.
out there. But we
Absolutely.
are short on time, so we're gonna jump right into our guest. Everybody, please give it up for our special guest this evening, Mr. Frankie Morales. Let me get the applause going.
What up? What up?
What's up, Frankie?
What's good? What's good, guys?
What up, Frankie? Thanks for joining us. I know you got a tight schedule right now.
It's all good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah,
Definitely,
this is
man.
awesome.
It's awesome to have you on. I know you're busy as hell. As we can see behind you, you look to be at a skate shop. That's your skate shop with a skate park behind it. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about you with everything going on with Gods, the latest tour, everything that you got going on because you just never stop to be seen being busy and blading, and you've been doing a part of the community for over 20 years, documented. So before we get into anything like that, this is the first time we've had you on our show. It's 130 episodes later. We've been trying to get you on for a while. We finally got you.
Oh
So
man.
let's talk about the beginning. I want to know how you started. I mean, a lot of the OGs know one of your first appearances on skates was like on the Real World. You and your brother Larry skating off of lawn
Wow.
trams with the Real World Miami back in the day. A lot of people who were young kids might not even know what the Real World is. It
I
was like
about
the
to say.
first reality
You got-
TV show ever on MTV. But let's get into how you started and leading up to that.
Wow, bro. You guys did your research. I forgot about that. Yeah, I used to skate, like hold on to cars and stuff like that, like just for fun. I remember my grandma bought me like some street rollerblades. They were like this place called Woodward's, kind of like a Walmart here in South Beach. And I went to a skate shop and I met Jason Hines, and he was pretty much like my mentor as a little kid. And he took me to this house, and I remember having cameras and whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope. He was building a ramp. And then later on that day, I called my brother and my cousin. I'm like, yo, I saw this house that has cameras. We need to go there. We got to skate this ramp. So we went over there as little kids, and we kind of just, caused a mess and got kicked out. And yeah, man, that's pretty much the real world. Actually, they sponsored crazy. They sponsored my first ASA competition. So because I was on the show for MTV, they paid for all the, whatnot.
Yeah, you were sponsored by MTV?
Yeah. Oh, well, just for the competition, ASA.
That's still crazy, though. I never heard of that before. I didn't know they even do that in the first place.
What do you mean?
I didn't know that like MTV would sponsor an athlete of any kind to like do anything,
Oh yeah. They just paid for my stuff, and they gave me like royalty and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, like at this point, I think you were already like Misty flipping off the ramp or 540 off the ramp. So at this point, you'd already like been skating for a while. As long as I know you, you're like one of the oldest, like skating guys. I mean, the longest skating guys in Miami from like the early days, like you, Chris Padilla, like a lot of these early guys. Was there anyone before you? Was there like a generation before you in Miami, or like was there anyone who put you on or showed you your first video? Like how did you get introduced to that? Because from what I know, you're not from like a place where it's like a lot of skaters like running around. Like you're like in the city of Miami, and I don't know if it's like a real skate friendly atmosphere, especially in the 90s, or if there are many skate parks around. Like, it's like an earlier time in skating. So how did you get introduced to it?
Bro, when I started skating, I don't even think the Royale was invented. And I think, well, I got into it because, like I said, my grandma bought me skates, and then I went to the skate shop, which was Frisch's skate shop, and they had a couple of aggressive skates, but they had like the grindstones and the CBS soul place. I don't remember the name
CDS
of them.
Detroit.
Yeah. They had those. And I remember I think it was Dead or Air, maybe. It was the one with Chris Edwards. You're doing like a grind on a rail and doing a front flip over a car and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the heck is this? And ever since then, I kind of just did that. And you're speaking about other skaters. I think, shit, bro, before Chris and Robert Arias and them. Oh, shit, Aaron Feinberg, bro. I met Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
When he was he was here, bro. I met Aaron when he was a little fucking grommet. And we were actually at this parking lot. We should fucking bomb this parking lot and shit. And I met him in the parking lot. It was raining, and he had like the door hinge as a soap plate. It was fucking dope. It was genius.
What?
Yeah, like the door, like the thing from the back of the door
Yeah.
that opens and it closes. He used that as a soap plate, right? And I remember him doing soul grinds on this little fucking curb. I was like, whoa, this is sick. And it was raining, and I'm like, oh, Joe, you're not scared of fucking messing up your bearings? He's like, nah, bro. You just hold on to a car, you'll be good. I'm like, oh, that's sick. So I remember doing that, and I met him, and then yeah, ever since then I just kind of just been skating for fun, and it kind of just evolved during the years. I met like Alex and everybody else. I went on tour with Chris for about 2 years with Chris Edwards and Chris Padilla, Robert Arias, Adam Kilgore, whole bunch of other great people, that I still call my friends.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned a couple of things. One, I think a lot of people don't know that Aaron and Alex Brasco both originally from Florida.
Yeah.
So that's funny to hear you met them in their early days, especially to the point when Aaron was skating with a door hinge on his skate as a sole plate. Yeah, that's wild.
Right.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, that's funny. So imagine running into like back in the day, like you, Frankie, and little Aaron Feinberg, like in a parking lot skating together. That's just so random,
That's wild.
Yeah, it was super random.
But Detour, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was going to ask you about that as well. You and Chris Edwards, and he just recently was on your latest tour. He's been like around and with you for like a long time and had like a long relationship from like all the way back in Detour in 1998. I know he was like taking you on. I know Bashi went on that tour. A bunch of different people hopped on that tour at different points, but it seemed to be like this like long lasting, never ending tour of just pushing skating. So what was that like going on that first tour? You must have been a teenager back then with Chris, and like meeting Chris and developing that relationship back in the early days?
Man, that was a movie, bro. Especially for back then, like meeting Chris, he was like, he was Chris Edwards. He had like the Daytonas, the chocolates, all these freaking dope ass skates, and he was in movies and whatnot. So like going on tour with them was crazy. In fact, I was young, and like you said, I was probably like actually 14, maybe 14, 15. And so my mom had to sign legal guardian to Chris. He was my legal guardian for 2 years. 2 years. She trusted him. We talked. I told her that was my dream. And my mom's Cuban, and she's like, "Man, go get it." So
Yeah.
yeah, we made it happen. Traveled all over the United States. That's how pretty much I got good in skate parks, bro. I used to say, "Oh, I could do this, I could do that," and I couldn't do shit. I was just hungry for shit. I just try shit and happen to land it.
Yeah.
And okay, I think I don't know if I met you, Fish, in through Detour or maybe before that, but I remember at some point I even went to New York, and we chilled at Chelsea Park or something
Yeah, it
like
was
that. I know
Chelsea.
you're,
Hmm.
yeah, I was with you were Mike, Murdo was there, shit.
Hmm.
Oh, that shit was crazy, bro. That shit was fucking fun as hell. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's how it happened with the Detour. And I remember I did that 1 year, and then I did it for the second year, and then now Chris just came on this new tour, which is fucking surreal. Having him driving the RV, just nostalgia all over again. But just doing it now when we're older and we could actually do other stuff, and just kind of appreciate stuff now that we're here now.
Yeah, it's so wild to see 25 years after the fact of
Big gap.
Detour that he's on tour again with you guys. Like, I got to say that was really cool to see. Um, it's amazing to me that he was your legal guardian for 2 years. That's really incredible. But
For real.
I would imagine your mom saw like your talent, especially at that age. And I think everyone who saw you coming out at that age and saw like a lot of the X Games stuff and the potential in rollerblading was like, okay, there's something really here. I feel like you had a lot of the taste in those early days too, from like the
Mm.
'90s moments in blading where there was like bigger eyes on blading and like maybe some X Games stuff. Did you have any of those early experiences?
Yeah, man. First off, shout out to Chris, man. I love you, man. Yeah, man, he's been killing it too. What else I'm gonna say? Yeah, man, fucking, I did, bro. I got to experience a little bit of it, like when it was getting kind of serious, and like I think Aaron was sponsored by like Gap and Levi's, which was fucking weird.
Mhm.
Um, there was more money into it. I think I got third place in the last X Games. I qualified through first the whole thing, and then I got third place, and that was the last X Games in Philly, if I remember correctly. But it was, bro. Imagine to now to now it's more like core, and now we see who really loves it and shit like that. But I got to experience just a little bit of it. The X Trials. I think they had Gravity Games. I don't even remember Gravity Games. They had that. That was fucking dope. And every
Yeah.
competition was like $10,000 for first place. Like before you went to the X Games, like 50,000, 60,000. I don't remember.
Do you like miss that shit now? Because you said you had a little taste of all those massive mainstream commercial competitions like X Games, Gravity Games, stuff like that, and then now it's 25 years later, whatever, and now you have your own contest, the Frankie Morales Invitational. There's like Blading Cup, Winter
Mm.
Clash, stuff like that. Does it? Do you like it better now the way it is? Do you miss like the X Games type of vibe? Like, what do you feel?
I mean, I just missed like how it was like a little more professional, I guess. You had like the more bigger endorsements, and like you had like the masseuse in the street course, and like the separation, you know what I mean? Like you can't go there. And I think as a little kid, and you're trying to get into anything, you kind of look, you love that, you like you want to get into anything like that, right? It kind of builds shit, like right now, if I was like a mom, maybe I wouldn't want my son to rollerblade or anything like that, because there's not like a secure future for it. So maybe that kind of stuff I kind of miss, but I really like the way it's core now. I love throwing the competitions. I like giving back to the community, and I like just supporting to like where basically any new person that wants to skate still sees that there's a chance of doing something, not just having fun.
Mm.
definitely. Um,
Yo,
you know,
Chris just walked by right now. That's funny as fuck.
no, did he?
Yeah, he's outside. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Does he know you're
we
doing the
gotta
show
get him
now?
pop in to say hi.
I know. I was about to say later on because we got other stuff to handle and take care of.
Um, well, what I was gonna say is really quick. So yeah, you've had a lot of those experiences from being a pro in like the golden era, and then becoming like your own company owner, running your own company,
Mm.
running the skate shop, doing these tours, and taking the other end of it. I want to get into all that, but first, I also noticed Austin and I were talking before the show. Like you've had a lot of uh, brush-ins and interactions with people like who are pretty well known and famous, and got them to engage with, not only meet them, but engage in like who you are as a rollerblader. I remember when seeing you do Alita, you were like, Michelle Rodriguez was like, oh, shout out my boy Frankie, he got me a pair of skates. And we saw you with Kylie Jenner, with your skates on, and trying those skates on. And like how did these things, how did those doors open, and what were those experiences like? Because that seems like experience not many rollerbladers get to have.
Sheesh. I mean, the experience was amazing. Meeting, let's say, Michelle Rodriguez, she was fucking dope. I actually seen her in the plane when we were doing Alita Battle Angel. I was going to Texas, and she was in first class. I think Dave Lang was like, "Yo, that's Michelle Rodriguez." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, no way!" And then she got off the plane, and I knew she was there for the movie, but I didn't want to say, "Hey, I'm here for this movie. Are you here for that movie too?" I was just kind of like, "Yo, what's up, Michelle? My name's Frankie. I'm a big fan. Can I take a picture with you?" She was like, "Fuck yeah!" Took a picture, and then the next day on set, I see her. I'm like, "Yes, she's in the movie, right?" So like, I skate by and shit, and she's like, "What the fuck? No way!" Right? And I'm like, "Yo, what's good, man?" I didn't want. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't want to be like, yo, I'm in this movie." And she was like, "Oh, I respect that." She's like, "Wait, you skate?" I'm like, "Yeah, I skate." She's like, "I used to skate." I'm like, "No, you didn't." She's like, "Yeah, I used to have K2 fatties. And I used to
What?
Mizus." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." I was like, "You did not do
No
no Mizus."
way.
What?
Yeah, she's
I
like,
wouldn't expect
yeah.
that at all.
No, hell no, right? I'm like, what are you talking about right now, bro? I fucking Resident Evil and all these other movies. You're not doing no Mizus. What are you talking
She's
about?
talking about
And,
Mizus.
yeah, right. I'm like, you're not doing that. Stop playing. And I was like, all right, word. So I was like, put on my skates. And she put on my skates. She rolls and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, she can skate.
Oh
So I was
shit.
like, yo, I got some. Yeah, I was like, I got some skates for you. And I gave her some skates. She invited me to her crib in where does she live in Venice Beach. Shout out to Michelle, man. And I gave her a package and shit. She's fucking dope as hell. Me, her, and then who was Kylie? I met her through Tiger. Yeah, Tiger because of one of the homies. Oh, Brazil. So
Mm-hmm.
Brazil did videos with Tiger and whatnot. And I guess he told Brazil, somebody like, "Yo, I want some skates to shut it down. Like, I want to look like that nigga. I want to have them on, and people be like, yo, them shit's hard." And Brazil's like, "Yo, I got my homie Frankie. He has some Jordan looking type skates." So I get a call from Jesse, yeah, his producer. And then he's like, "Yo, Tiger wants some skates." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Tiger." And then he gets on the phone. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "No, it's not, bro." He's like, "Yeah, man, I want some skates, bro." I'm like, "Oh shit, say no more. I got you." So I sent him some skates, and then like a week later, I get another call from the producer. He's like, "Yo, you're never gonna believe this, bro, but Kylie wants your skates." I'm like, "Kylie? Who the hell's Kylie?" I didn't even know I didn't know who Kylie was, bro. I was like, "Kylie, who the hell's Kylie?" He's like, "Yo, Kylie Jenner, bro." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I like look it up, and I'm like, "Holy shit." So I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, for sure." He's like, "Yo, but she wants you to give it to her in person. It's her birthday tomorrow. Why don't you slide through her birthday party?" I'm like, "What?"
What?
So I go over there with Eric, and then we go whatever that night, and then I see her or whatever, and I'm like, "Yo, nice to meet you. Here's some skates." I put on some light up wheels and shit. Excuse me. She was like, "Oh, these are fire." And then I'm like, just whatever, letting her do her thing. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, "Kylie, you think I can take a picture with you?" She's like, "Yeah, for sure." Took a picture with her. And I'm like, "Think I can take a picture with you in the stage?" She's like, "Oh, I already did that. Put that on the gram." I was like, "What?"
Oh.
I was like, "No, you didn't." And then everybody's texting me, "Yo, Kylie Jenner, how'd your skateboard?" I'm like, "No fucking way." So then I tell her, I'm like, "Yo, Kylie, can you tag me?" She's like, "Yeah, I can tag you." She tagged it. And then the producer hits me up like couple hours. He's like, "Yo, Frank, man, you should change your name." It was Kid Boy I Kid back then. He's like, "Yo, you should change your name to Frankie Morales, who the fuck is Kid White Kid? I'm like, oh shit, you're right.
Mhm.
So as I changed the name, I thought it'll automatically change her shit, right? Like it'll change her tag, but it didn't. And as soon as I realized that, like I was getting mad followers, like 20,000, 30,000. I'm like, oh shit.
Damn.
And then as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, I'm gonna change it, or whatever. And I changed it, and I noticed it didn't change it on her end. I'm like, fuck me. So when I went to get back my old name, somebody retook it. So
What?
yeah,
Just like that.
so just like that, bro. Someone took it. I'm like, oh my fucking god, there it goes. There's my chance of doing anything like putting rollerblading on the map, right? And then I was like, fuck, okay. So then I asked the dude, I'm like, because I'm not cool with Kylie or anything like that. So I was like, yo, Kylie, I was like, yo, Jess, can you tell Kylie to change her name again? He's like, ah, man, she's gonna fucking just take it off if you do that. I'm like, all right, whatever, leave it at that. Which is funny, bro. Fucking her sister, you'll see that pretty soon. But her sister, and they hit me up recently. They want to skate, so shout out to Kendall. They'll have some skates soon, and
Oh shit, getting them all on skates.
yeah, yeah, I'm getting them all on skates. They all want some skates, man. And surprisingly, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, all the motherfuckers skates, bro. All of them. They all meet up and skate. They all like quad skate and rollerblades. They can all, do the little thing.
Damn, yo.
Stop.
They got-
Justin Bieber?
Yeah, bro.
Did you
Yeah.
get him on some gods?
Nah, but my friend Josh Goodwin, really good friend, he was a rollerblader. He's Justin Bieber's producer and engineer. So the link is right there. I just gotta talk to my boy, and if he's interested, I'll give him whatever he needs. You dig?
Yo, it's so sick that like it's pretty obvious though, like the way your skate looks, like the skate itself looks like matters a lot, like because when you did
Yeah.
gods, it connected with pop culture, where they look like Jordans, so many people can relate to it, and that's awesome
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
opens doors like that. Like Kylie was like, oh, these skates look fucking sick, I want to try a pair, and then next thing you know, you're at her birthday party, and it's funny that you mentioned like you didn't know who she was at the time. I know it wasn't like this, but I just picture you meeting Kylie, and Kylie's like, oh shit, Frankie Morales, what up? And you're like, who are you?
Yeah, no, bro, I have no idea who she was. Even when they told me, I was like, what the fuck? I was just looking. I just saw a whole bunch of followers and shit, and I saw that her sister was Kim, and I'm like, why do they have different last names? I was confused. But yeah, man, they're super dope, bro. They're super, super, super dope, and they fucking support rollerblading in some form, shape or form. So let's see what happens with that.
That's awesome. They just got to get out there more, like how Kylie posted that picture on Instagram.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, the skate style comes along with your actual skating style, which is like something that you're hugely known for. No one in the world has style like you. And we had Sagona on the show
Appreciate
recently,
it.
and he also is one of those people too, like style master. No one skates like Dominic. And I asked him about just what his like theory on style is, if he had a theory, like how much it plays into his skating. So I'm curious what you have to say about that also, like how important is style to your skating? How much do you think it matters to what makes a great skater?
I mean, for me, style is a lot, like I try to like express myself in my skating when I do anything, even like a soul grind or royale. I try to make it, or I'm not even try anymore, but before, I used to try to make it look as good as possible. And now it's kind of more natural. But I think everybody has like their own unique style. Even when people have sloppy style, it could be like cool, you know what I mean? Like it could be like their own style. So it's kind of hard to judge like style nowadays. But yeah, I think it's important to have fucking style, especially like back in the days we were taught like, especially with the judging and shit, like you got okay, style points, and those are like a lot. You had to, you can see Kelsos and everybody from back in those era, they fucking, they swag their shit out a lot. So yeah, I think it's important.
Did you ever have to did you ever have to work on that? I feel like style is more of like a natural thing, but some people don't. Some people just like focus on it for a little bit as they started skating, and then it became natural afterwards. It looks like it's all natural to you, but I'm like, have you ever worked on it, or it's just like that's the way you are?
Bro, yeah, I worked on it.
Did you?
No, I had to, bro. If you look at back like my old skating, I used to squat a lot, a lot, a lot. I used to have to sag, and I used to show my boxers. And then at some point, I was talking about this with my homie. I don't know if you guys ever had this fucking shit. I used to have this T-Rex syndrome. I used to call it that shit. And I used to go up to rails, and when I used to concentrate, I used to go up to creep up to it like this, right? I like creep up to the rail, like if I'm like creeping up, like if I'm quiet or some shit, I'm gonna land the goddamn trick. It was fucking weird. And then when I did top asses, I kind of still do it sometimes. You like your feet do this thing, so your hands do this like
Yes.
yeah, like this shit right here.
Your hands move. Your hands move with like the trick. It's like you do a soul grind. Your hands like this. You do an acid. Your hands
Right,
do this.
right. They do that shit,
It's the
bro. Right?
funniest shit. It's the funniest shit. Happens to everybody.
Yeah. So you learn throughout the years how to kind of like hide it, you know, like kind of like just put it
Yeah.
to the side a little bit, you know, and shit like that, and it looks cool, you know.
Yo, it's crazy. After 3 years and 130 episodes, that's the first time somebody mentioned that on the show, and it's so fucking true. Like I've talked about that with so many people that your hands do that. It's so
Mm,
weird that it's a thing with everybody or most people, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, you can see it a lot with beginners when they start grinding. You're like, I remember
Yeah, I
that.
guess you're
Yeah.
concentrating more, and your
Yeah,
hands just like do what your feet do. You know,
yeah,
so funny,
absolutely.
so funny.
Man, that is really funny. Yeah, it's funny to talk about style and get into those things, and I agree. I think like different styles, clean or not, they just like if they suit a person's personality, then it's good, you know.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
Um, yeah. I want to touch on something you were talking about just before when we were talking about Kylie and these things, and be like, oh, like I guess because I changed my name, I missed an opportunity to put on rollerblading. It feels like you've been like a man on a mission for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gone along with not only your pro skating and your competition skating and street skating, but now transition into being an ambassador and a company owner. Um, could you care to grow on like that mission or what you see like what you would like out of blading? Because like I said, you seem like you're someone who's very committed and with a vision and a mission. So just wondering what your thoughts are there.
I mean, I just want like any other old school skater. I just want skating to get the respect it deserves. You know, like we've been skating for a long time, and like skating has evolved. It had a lot of time to evolve, and I think like yeah, bro, I've been on a mission to fucking get this shit mainstream. You know, why not? You know, I people like, oh, sell out, fuck all that, bro. I'm trying to make this shit mainstream so people can fucking do this shit and have a fucking career, you know, and then have a fucking a retirement plan and fucking be able to provide for their families and not worry about fucking if they get hurt, then that's it. What the fuck are they gonna do? You know, so like I've been trying to do that. I think the right people, you know, and they get behind it, and you know, you do like something for the culture, and just you know, just go hard because you know, skating can only do so much. You know, we already been fucking skating hard. We've been you know, skating amazing. Like the level of skating, if you go backwards, some may say you know that people have been skating harder back in the days and now you know now it's like a little more technical and people are thinking about more longevity as they should but you know, man, like, yeah, I'm on a fucking mission, bro. I'm trying to make this shit happen, you know? And I feel like skateboarding and other sports, you know, they already did that. They found that. And I think it's our turn, bro. We're around the corner. And I got some shit, bro. I got some shit that I've been working on. I can't talk about right now. I'm gonna drop some Easter eggs, but like, I got some shit that's about to change the shit, you know? Like, I've been fucking working on something for like 3 years with my homie. If I say the name, you probably kind of figure it out. But I've been
Mhm.
working on some shit, bro. I've been working on some amazing shit, bro. I put my fucking blood, sweat, and tears into that motherfucker, you know. So let's see what happens.
Man, first of all, I can't wait to see what you got going on because it seems like we've been talking about before. It's like you always got something going on. And you're always surprising the community. Like you show that picture, Kylie Jenner. You in Elita, you're Misty flipping in the movie, and it's like little by little you're breaking these boundaries that are like getting more eyes on blading, and you've been doing that for a long time. I really like your answer because I feel like when you ask that question to some pro skaters, they keep a low expectation and they dance around the mainstream thing, but you're just like, no, I want to make it mainstream.
Mhm.
To be fair, that's part of what motivates me to at least get it to that point where it gets more eyes and people can get careers and jobs.
Yeah.
Uh, um, and I know we're all waiting to see what else you got coming on because, like I said, it's always something with you. Do you feel a different responsibility now as a company owner and to like kind of encourage the youth or like what's how are you feeling about your responsibility now changing from a pro skater to now a pro skater and company owner and ambassador?
Man, yeah, definitely more responsibilities. You got to take care of. It's like having kids. You got to take care of the family. You got to make sure they can eat and they have a future and not just wasting their time. And hopefully you can grow that company to with their help. So yeah, man, yeah, a lot more responsibility, and as you get older and you evolve as as the person, that happens naturally. So, Chris, but yeah, man, yo,
I got Chris there.
Crystal saying what up?
yeah, Chris, my other homie doing the little like watching me.
But I feel like like Billy kind of said, everyone has like their own kind of answer to that question, and yours is like boom, straight up to mainstream, straight up to mainstream, and like I feel like you are one of the guys who could get it up through the mainstream. Like it's about connects at that point, and you clearly know
Yeah,
like all these random people somehow. So if there is anybody good to do that, you're probably the one to do that. So
yeah, man. Thanks, bro. I don't know if you know, I had a studio in LA for when I was now I'm in Florida, but when I was in LA before the COVID hit, I had a studio for like 3 years, maybe four. Yeah, 4 years in the art district. So I got lucky and I met a whole bunch of influencers. I met Sam Pepper, the whole Phase Clan. Shit, I can go on for days and days, right? But yeah, yeah, I got connected, and I'm gonna use those connects, bro. And I just been kind of waiting, holding off into this project that I've been working on for a couple of years, and then I'm gonna connect those dots, and we're gonna make it happen, bro. Because it is important to go mainstream. Fish, you're there from you got a little taste of it too. You saw it.
Mhm.
Fucking, it's important, bro. It's fucking, we could only skate for fun for so long, until shit hits the fan. You have to get a real job. That's what happened to all our icons, like we don't
Mhm.
have we had like all like everything that skateboarding or other industries had, but unfortunately, Aaron Feinberg, Dustin Latimer, fuck, I can't even think. Louis Zamora, fucking Brian Aragon, Brian Shima, Chris Haffey. Those motherfuckers like still good, still doing the thing, but they can't skate for fun anymore. So they had to get their resources from other places. And I've been lucky that I played my cards right and I can still skate. But other people are not that lucky and they have to get real jobs, and it's unfortunate, because I think they put in so much time and so much fucking you know love into the sport where they should get paid, and they should just be able to chill and do what they love and have everybody else be like, yo, I can't wait so I could do that one day.
yeah,
Absolutely, man. I feel like that's so true, and I feel the same way. Like with a lot of those people in skating, where they should just be taken care of, or there should just have been a home for them. Um, you're starting to see that possibility emerge of people like you, and I gotta say, man, just like as a friend and as a fan, like it's really inspiring to see like your spirit not be broken and you continue to stay relentless after all these years of ups and downs that are for sure a part of being like pro skater through like the 90s and the 2000s and dealing with everything. Even on the back end of the industry, it could be very frustrating and disappointing at times, but I just love to see like the belief in yourself. As long as I've like known you, it's like the same goes for like Julian and like Montre. It's just like such a
Yeah,
positivity in their spirit and such a strong belief that you see past like all the BS. So I just got to commend you on that. And yeah,
appreciate it.
I agree, man. Like it's hard to see some of those guys who we really looked up to, who worked their ass off, like not be where they should be. But hopefully, we make a turnaround, so and we could bring it back in at some point. That's how I see it, and that's my ultimate hope.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
Bro,
also
yeah, man, I gotta. I'll go ahead, sir.
no, go ahead. It's your show.
No, 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 no. I was just gonna say, yeah, you're just saying that something about believing in yourself and stuff like that. I gotta give a shout out to Matthias, bro, because and shout out to Garrett too. Uh, but Matthias, I want to give you a shout out, bro, because he believed in me when a lot of people didn't, and I told him one thing. I told him something Lil Wayne said. One thing I told him like, yo, if you I already believe in myself. I already, not to sound cocky, I already believe that I'm the shit, right? I feel like I'm fucking that dude. And I told him just like this. I was like, if you believe in me, then that's just gonna become a reality. It's just gonna become stronger, right? And he's like, bro, all right, you know what I mean? And he gave me a chance that fucking a lot of people don't get, and let me provide for my family, and and let me fucking skate for the community, and for anybody else that likes seeing my skating, because like I said, bro, without fucking security, you can't skate, bro,
Hmm.
So shout out to Matthias, bro, opening doors for pro rollerbladers and making sure they can have a fucking retirement plan, and they could, you know, uh bow and leave the game, gracefully, not fucking be like, oh man, why I do this shit for?
Yeah, that's true. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask something else, go on to another topic, but since you mentioned that and Matthias and him believing in you, I feel like maybe we should talk a little bit about your company Gods and how that came about, because Matthias from USD, who you were speaking about, backs you in the Gods brand, and was that you came to Matthias, obviously you just said, but like, was the vision of like the Jordan style skate always something that you had in mind? Like, was that something growing up as a kid you always wanted to do and you finally got to make it a reality? Was it inspired from like, I don't know, skating for Rems for many years beforehand, like the soft boot kind of skate? Like, was it all these different factors? Where did that come from? Where did the inspiration for Gods like that come from?
Well, I always liked Jordan. That's all. Like, well, now I just wear Crocs, but before I just wear Jordans. And I don't know, you remember my first RB skates? They were like Air Force Ones. I
Yeah, the
did
black
like a
joints.
little yeah, the black joints, a little
Yeah.
fucking little thing. So I did those, and I remember I'm like, damn man, the shoe thing. Everybody liked this whole shoe thing. And like I said, I always try to make rollerblading mainstream. So I'm like, how can somebody relate that doesn't skate and be like, how the fuck, those are fucking fire. So every time I wear my Jordans, every time they'd be like, oh, those are sick, those are sick, those are sick. I'm like, damn, what if you did this with fucking skates? So I remember telling Matthias, I'm like, yo, we should do this skate. And he was like, oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know how people want to think. And we did it, and it fucking went crazy. Um, but yeah, fucking, no, it's closed. Sorry. Uh,
People trying to shop.
yeah, sorry, sorry, dude. But yeah, man, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Well, you were just talking about how people can relate to to Jordans when they see you, like, oh, it's sick that you have a Jordan skate now. Just to relate to other people, I guess. Is that like, was that your main goal with Gods, just to relate to people outside of skating?
Yeah, yeah, that, and they're my favorite shoes, the ones that I did, which was the Board Dogs. But yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted that when people say, "Oh, those Jordans," I wanted that, and I got that off of those, which was fucking great. Um, that was I think that was before Gauze. I'm sorry, that was when I did the USDs. Because remember, I did the Jordans for USD first. I did
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and yeah, I did the 11s, which was the one that Kylie Jenner had, and then I did the Board Dogs and some other ones, and then I actually did the 12s, which are those right there in black and red, the first God skate. Um, and true story, bro. The only reason I did that is because at that point USD was kind of like, well, let me rewind it. Let me rewind it. You asked me about gauze and how that started. Uh, I moved to California after the whole REMS thing, and I was skating a lot with Eric. I don't know if you guys remember, we did a whole bunch of fucking videos. Shout out to my nigga E-Rob, by the way.
You were pumping out
We did
edits
a
every
whole
week, pretty
every
much.
fucking week, bro. Every week. Hey, yo, but you know what happened, bro? I don't know if you know this shit, bro. I had a hernia, right? I had a fucking hernia, and then it was just healing, so I didn't skate for like 6 months. And I remember Andy Wagner, he told me, yo, come through. That's when they had the big Razor House. He's like, come through. I heard you're healing up. I skated for ground control. And he's like, we got this house, whatever. I went over there. I had like a week of healing. Julian was there. Everybody was there. Brian, Murda. And I was like, okay, let's do it, bro. We're working out and shit. We're about to go skating in a week. I'm fucking hyped. Aragon, everyone tells me, yo, you should fucking move into the house, bro. You should move into the house. I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Why not? So I grab all my shit from Miami and I ship it to the fucking, yeah, bro, I'm crazy. I ship it all the way to Cali, and I'm hyped or whatever. And then we're working out the next day, and Julian, I don't know if you know, medicine ball's kind of heavy. So I'm doing these sit-ups where he throws it at me, and then when I was coming down, he was supposed to throw it at me when I was coming up, and he threw it to me late or early, and it hit my hernia repair, right? So the fucking medicine ball hits my hernia repair, and I get a hematoma, like right away, fucking swells up. I'm like, fuck. So now I go rush to the hospital. Long story short, bro, I'm fucked now. Now that shit fucking set me back like probably like 2 or 3 more months that I can't skate now, right? Because that's a drain by itself. Yeah, so I'm all fucked. And I remember, bro, I never forget this shit. Nigga Andy fucking kicked me out the motherfucking house, bro. Kicked me out the house because I couldn't skate, bro. Because like after everything, and it was supposed to be Brian's house and these people's house, but they kicked me out the house because I could not skate. That's when I realized, I'm like, yo, this shit is lame as fuck. Like how the fuck I've been busting my ass for years, bro. Like now that I'm actually hurt, you can't house me for a fucking couple months when you just flew me here. Now that like I'm not worth anything, that's what you're gonna do. Cool. My nigga Richard's like, yo, I'm in Long Beach, come through. I went to Richard's house and I stayed at Richard's for fucking probably like 6 months, bro. It took like 6 months to fucking to recuperate. And I was there fucking chilling and shit, and I got better. That's when I fucking hit up Matthias and I told him, I'm like, because the whole Rams thing was going out of business or something happened. I couldn't skate. They couldn't pay me. And you know what happens, bro. When you can't, it makes sense. When you can't skate, they can't generate that money that you were generating, so they can't give you that money anymore.
Yeah.
So I understood. So me and Matthias talked, and I told him, yo, bro, like the same shit I told you. You believe in me, I'm going to do this shit. And that's when I fucking try to flood the game. And as soon as I healed up, me and fucking Eric just ran it up. We're like, yo, I'm gonna show you motherfuckers that I fucking skate every day if I could. So I skated, I fucking skated until fucking, you saw all those fucking edits. So then I told Matthias, I'm like, yo, I want to start a company. And me and Eric were going through names and shit. And the first name we came up with was Junkie. And it was supposed to be like adrenaline junkie, like whatever junkie that you did, right? And that kind of thing. But they didn't like it because they were like, oh, it sounds like a druggie and like shit like that. I'm like, that's the point, right? But we're trying to make it cool. But it's not but it's not about drugs. They couldn't see the vision. And I remember the word gauze was there. I can't remember why we said it, but that was one of them. And they were okay with it. I was okay with it. We were okay with it. And that's kind of how that started. And then that's when we had Dave and the newer people, or the first people on the team back then. But yeah, that's kind of like a little back end story, man. Shout out to my nigga Eric, bro. We fucking grinded like a motherfucker. Shout out to Richard too, bro. Just let me stay in his house, like if I was his brother and shit.
Nah, those guys are really good guys. Eric and Richard. Shout out to them. And yeah, it's a bummer that happened with Andy. Injuries are a big part of skating, and
yeah,
you got to know that's a part of it. It's a shame that happened, but it was good that you had friends there to look out for you. And like you said, Matthias, huge shout out to Matthias. Like, I just see him really doing his best to invest in like the future rollerblading through old OG pro skaters who put in their time and their work and who have shown they're willing to make an effort to work. So he's a great believer, and I'm very grateful for him as well. So,
same.
Yeah, both of you definitely. Actually. Now that I didn't even realize that at first. Yeah. But Billy, you got Mesmer, and Frankie, you got Gods.
Yeah, man, he's trying to do his thing, man. I feel like sometimes Matthias, bro, that he scares me sometimes because he says some things. I'm like if he's gonna like go, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, Matthias, you all right, bro? Because he's like, I just want to make sure you guys are straight, you know what I mean? Because one day I'm not gonna be here, I don't want to make sure you guys are okay. I'm like, oh shit, hold up.
Nah, he does say that. He said, he's like, I just want to make sure blading is good. If I decide to retire, I want to make sure you guys are good, because he's such a big part of what keeps rollerblading alive. I don't think people really realize that if he decides to retire, which he can do at any time because he's been very successful, that it would have a huge impact on the rollerblading community. So it's kind of like he's trying to kind of groom us a little bit and like raise us to kind of like take care of the other jobs and teach us the way. So huge shout out. And I love that like he's doing something with you, and I love that he's doing something with me too. That's great. Like, but just it's just like that keeping the guys up. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Joe Navron too, man. I gotta talk about Joe, man. Fucking Joe. Without Joe, I wouldn't even be Frankie Morales, bro. Fucking.
Yeah, we were gonna mention FOR too. We want let's talk about like
good timing.
You getting down with like I was just about to ask that. So let's get into how you met Joe, FOR 2, FP, the whole gang, all that.
Yeah, man. Fucking Joe hits me up. I think I just did like I did the diversity tour. So right after that, like my name is kind of ringing little bells and shit. So he hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I want to fly you to California. I've never been to California." So I get flown to California. Mind you, I skated a lot of park. I wasn't even like that good at street. I oh shit, Richard picked me up. First time meeting Richard, he picked me up. He had fucking blonde hair. This guy had, black guy with blonde hair, And Richard's funny because I'm from Miami, so black people out here in Miami talk like Southern and be like, "What handed?" They talk real, like you could tell, we colored, right? But when I met Richard, he was like a white guy, right? Like he was like, "What's up, dude?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I was just thrown back, right? He was with Alex Miranda back then, and Alex was fucking strange back then too, right? He has his little he was a dope ass kid. I remember seeing him videos and shit too. I was like, fuck, bro, I'm meeting this motherfucker, right? But I didn't know it was short at all, right? I just thought this guy was just driving me. And then I go to Joe's house. When I get to Joe's house, first thing Joe's is like, "What's up? This is blah blah." I see Josh and whatever. I met Josh a couple more times because Josh Petty's from Florida. I go to the first thing Joe shows me is the edit, and it's fucking Richard's edit, FOR. It was like halfway done, right? Mind you, I ain't never seen shit like this, right? Big ass motherfucker just jumping on true fucking asses and true fish spring both ways and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro? I'm like, this motherfucker did not just bring me all the way over here to skate anything like this motherfucker because I cannot skate like that. I skate ramps, So he kind of forced me to do everything, bro. He like took me to spots and I kind of just did just kind of improvise and did shit and like evolved as I was skating, bro. So it was fucking sick as fuck. And then I met, like I said, Josh, Shima, and kind of saw how they did things, Dustin, and like kind of like just like watched them and like, studied them a little bit. Like, okay, that's how they do it. This is how they kind of just skate street. They do the little thing and sit back and whatnot. Because, being from the South, we just go and throw our bodies and do whatever the fuck we can and then pray for the best. And if it happens, it happens. If not, you get fucked up and then, you're out for the count. But, you got flown out there. I was like, fuck, I gotta fucking, make sure I don't get hurt so I could kind of get my little edit. This motherfucker skating like a beast, right? That was just one of the edits that I seen. Mind you, Dominic Sigona, fucking, Jesus Christ. It was a lot to fucking take in. So, like, they kind of forced me to just keep up with them, bro. It was fucking dope, though, because I skated like the best shit I ever skated in my life, especially for back then. Being from Miami, there's no fucking hills. Everything you have to do is jump a fence. This shit was crazy.
Yeah, man. I like, first of all, like, wow, like that era and that crew was just something special in the era of rollerblading. And then, your part in that video was just so. Yeah, I think that's like you'd been around for a while. Like you were like one of the first people I'd seen, like 450 Royale, a rail, like when you came to John Bound like a long time ago in New York.
Yeah.
And like a lot of this early stuff, like you were like ahead of so many people, so Allen both ways, like really deep in the style, like landing really squat. But I feel like in that video, like you really arrived. You know what I mean? There was like everything was such a high level, and like people who may not have known you was like, it was just like really high level and amazing. I guess like you said, it comes from skating with these people a lot, but you've just seemed to have gone from that, and you still have all of your stuff, man. Just like the amount of generations and levels you have been through. So it's really cool to see you like still part of skating now and contributing as a skater. What do you use these days as motivation to push yourself to skate? Like you have so much to do. You're running a shop, you're running a skate park, you're running the company. You got a family, you got kids. I'm sure like your days are completely full. Do you still have that motivation to push like in your own skating? Is like what gives you that?
Man, I mean, just the love, man. To be honest, bro, I don't feel complete unless I'm skating. Like I'm gonna skate in a little bit, you know. Like I even when I get hurt, I realize I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I play video games or I work on projects or even be a family man, and it's still I love that, you know. But like skating is like I have to skate, so that just skating alone keeps me motivated. So as soon as I see a ramp or a rail or any obstacle, I'm like, damn, I could do this. And I always, bro, I'm the type of person that likes pushing myself. I just want to be better than I was yesterday. So like, if I did something, I don't give a fuck about. No offense to anyone, what anyone else is doing. I'm in my own little bubble, bro. I like doing like what I like doing. You feel me? Like that's why I
Mhm.
think I've been successful in my life because I never worried about nobody else. I just kind of judged me, and I was always been in competition with myself, and kind of wanted to grow as a person and as a skater myself. I'm like, okay, if I did this, I could probably do this next time. I don't know. It's funny because I was watching interviews because I was like, let me watch some interviews to see how like people answer questions and whatnot, right? And I saw an interview with Eric, and I remember him saying something. He said something. I saw it yesterday. He said, what did he say? He said, "Yo, Frankie's hard to work with. You know, he fucking he he tries to do a trick, and then you tell like, oh, do this trick, and he's like, nah, I already did that shit a long time ago." And it's true. I'm like, damn, I do that shit. I never even realized I do that until I fucking heard him say that. I'm like, fuck, I do that shit. Fuck. But that's good though, because that's what I think keeps me relevant. You know what I mean? And I, like I said, I'm always just trying to fucking do better than I did yesterday. So like today, I'm trying to learn a new trick, even though I've been skating for fucking over 20 years. You know?
Yeah, you always got
Yeah.
to push yourself. Always got like we're all been in the game for decades. It's like we all still pushing each other too.
Yeah.
That's why we do this shit in the first place. And I mean, like if we were doing soul grinds on benches for 20 years, we wouldn't still be doing this shit. You always got to push
Nah.
yourself.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Um, I got to ask something because I think I get this a lot. Not only do I get this a lot from, I see this in the chat, but it's something that I get when I talk to like other skaters around. Like I'm talking to my friends in Long Beach, who are like from like inner cities and different things. But Mr. Yellow says, when I was young, oh, what do you say? Billy, can you ask Frankie about being the only black pro besides Richard? Okay, so Mr. Yellow, that's not true, by the way. There were other black pros, Mike Johnson, Montre, the list goes on and on and on. Jason Howard, Damon Franklin, all these people. But it's I think I have heard from a lot of people that said, like we grew up in New York, so like we were skating around with like a bunch of different groups like forever, like a bunch of different ethnicities, and that was always a
Mm.
part of our reality. But I feel like in a lot of the country that's not the same situation. So I feel like when I talk to skaters who are like people of color or different ethnicities, they always say, oh, it's really nice to see like the Be Unique era, or to see Frankie, or to see Richard, to see other skaters that are like of my ethnicity that are participating in skating. Do you get that a
Mm.
lot? And did that have any impact on you when you were coming up? And what was it like to be to reword his question, to be one of the few black pros of the time?
Mm. Well, I'm black and Cuban, so I'm not fully
Mhm.
black.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my dad's black, and like there was more black people, people of color skating back then. I think what happened is that I was like one of the first ones to be the light shine on them, I guess, like me and Richard, I guess. But it I got it a lot, bro. Surprisingly, especially when I went to other like places, like I went to Europe and shit like that. I was fucking, they're like, what the fuck? What is this guy? Before anybody else started skating in Europe, there was a color. And then I don't know, bro. I never felt like cool from it or bad from it. You know what I mean? I kind of was just like, whatever, right? And
Mm.
then now, like you said, there's so many people, different, places and color that are skating right now. So now it's not even rare anymore, But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
back then it was different, bro. It was different. A lot of things were different back then, though. Not just the color thing, I was like I was a little fucking black Chico from fucking Miami with gold teeth and fucking blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? I had like a big fro, blonde. So I was already like a little anime character. I looked different, fucking for sure. I came from a different spot, and then anybody that comes, and then nigga, we didn't have fucking Instagram or none of that shit, you know. So like anytime somebody saw that was like a VHS, bro. It's just crazy.
Mhm.
So like that's how I got around, you know. And then you physically going to places, so naturally they couldn't see everybody that was kind of like me or anybody that I was influencing because I was me. And they're like, oh, I could do that shit too. I'm sure that happened a lot, you know. A lot of people come up to me. I started skating because of you, bro. Like I get a lot of people like, especially from New York, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy because murder's from New York, you know. Like it's a
Yep.
lot, you know. And they were like, bro, I started skating because of you, bro. I ain't never seen no. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like when I was skating, murder. I remember I went. It was a little kid, murder did a little little punch out shit, bro. I never forget that shit. Shit had me dying. Cause I remember
Yeah.
New York skaters were y'all motherfuckers were different, bro. Like we had our own little swag, but y'all definitely had your own shit for sure. You know, like your own
Mm.
the way you talk, the way body language. And I remember like just thinking, I'm like, damn, I love this shit, bro. Like fucking, I could come from Miami, and I can relate to these motherfuckers just because of blading. Like that's it. And I can still, because of the streets and where I came from, I know what the fuck they talking about. And I know like everything, you know, as far as like, you know, the humor and shit like that. And then like the whole skating connection, that shit was fucking fire, bro. That shit was sick.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I was just curious in that because I think we get that question a lot. Like, and I was skating with the two easy guys out here, and my buddy Vinny, who does like the shows over here. He was like, yeah, I gotta say, like, we connected to Be Unique and that crew and Frankie and Murden a lot because like there's like where we were at, those are like the first guys we saw that looked like us that were doing it. So I know that makes like a big impact for people like around the world, especially who was skating in like different environments. Like I said, we grew up in New York, so we had like everyone was all around, like, and we had all different kinds of ethnicities and groups. But in
Mm.
different parts of the country, it's different things. And like you said, you even had people in New York City that were like seeing Frankie for the first time, were like, "Whoa, that speaks to me more," and we're able to relate to it and get started because of skating for that reason. So that must be really cool to see.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, man. Yeah.
we had Tony Woodland on the show too. He said something very similar to that too. He said growing up, like he was skating, and when he saw the Be Unique videos, I guess like Frankie and Ramel and shit like that, like he showed his parents that, and he was like, "Oh wow, other people of color do skate. Like that's pretty cool, you know." Like I don't know if you like fit in a little more or whatever, but yeah, I guess it's really relatable to other people, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
bro.
we're gonna get into questions in a second. I know we were almost running out of time with you, and we're keeping too much of your time. So
Oh
thank
yeah,
you for
we are. I
giving us
didn't
the
realize.
time that you have. But before we
That's
get
all
into
good.
questions, we're going to take a few questions from some of our Patreon people that left behind, and if we can get to some from the live chat, we're going to do that as well. But I would be remiss if we didn't mention aggressive inline. You have your own video game character. I don't know if you've been pressed or asked about it before, but anyone who played
Oh,
aggressive inline from back in the day, I feel like it was a given. Like their favorite character was always you
Yeah,
because it had like
the
always the
style.
most fun and unique style. Like the arms are up on the soya, just like in the window, and it's like I don't know. Like I didn't even think about picking anyone else. No disrespect to like all the other people in the game, but like I feel like that was everyone's favorite character. So what was that like? What was that process like? How did that door open? And that must be cool to still be able to have that.
yeah, bro. That's another shout out to my nigga Chris Edwards, bro. I'm telling you, fucking was like my fairy godfather. He fucking yeah, he bro, he was I think it was supposed to be called Chris Edwards Pro Skater, for those who don't know. And something happened
Oh, I didn't know that.
between him and Acclaim or his agent. I don't know what happened, right? I can't really speak on it because I don't know too much, but I know it's supposed to be called Chris Edwards Pro Skater. He called me, he's like, "Yo, you want to be in this game?" I just did a tour with him, so it made sense. And I went to Woodward, and that's the first time we did like the little suit with the little balls and the motion capturing. And yeah, man, it was a dope experience. Fucking got to do my little style thing and be a part of something dope. Yo, check this out. Look, check this out. I don't know if it's gonna lose. I don't know if you guys can see that. Am I pointing it? All right. Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go. See
Oh,
that?
there it is.
I didn't know it was on
Yes.
Game Boy Advance. I thought it was just a PlayStation game.
Yeah, it came out for every system, bro. Which is fucking fire.
That's sick.
Uh, but yeah, man. Yeah. So it was fucking amazing, man. Shout out to everybody who was involved in that too, man. Shout out to Acclaim. Let's get it.
Sick.
How was like the? I mean, you said the process. You went to Woodward and they shot the thing with like the balls on you for like the style and shit like that. Did you have any like input on it at all? Like they were like, we're gonna put the balls on you so that the skater looks like you, the character. But were you like, nah, my trick got to look like this. It got to look like that. Like, was it any input like that, or were they just doing their thing and you were just along for the ride?
No, man. If you look carefully, most of the characters have my style. So they'll be like the Mizus. I never did me like the tricks that you normally don't see me do. That's not me. They capture the style. So they used a lot of my capturing Ben and Chris for the vert stuff and the toe rolls and stuff that he likes doing.
Hmm.
What else? Yeah, bro. Yeah, it was fucking fire though, bro. You know that you did it, and then you could see the little fucking. Like, yo, you want Chris? Hold on one second. I got.
I mean, if Chris was part of this too, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to have him come in on this also, maybe.
Oh, let me see. Let me take my headphones off. Actually.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
What up, Chris?
What's up,
What's going on,
guys?
Chris?
What up? I don't know if we can fit us all in here
Not
now,
too much,
but it might
man.
be
Great
hard
to
with
see
all
you
of us.
guys. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man.
Always
How's
an
it going?
honor.
How was
Yeah,
tour with everything with Gods?
Man, it was incredible. I mean, it's definitely like a full circle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so funny. We were
Wild.
talking about that before too, like a 25-year gap or something like that between tours, between Detour and the God's tour.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, it was definitely very reminiscent and just awesome. You know, I'm just so thrilled to be back in the game with everybody, and you know, I mean, like my hard work with the Detour and its goal and its purpose of creating the next regime and doing whatever we could to spread the gospel, for lack of better terms, but the gospel of rollerblading. You know, with diversity, we were handing out every manufacturer's pamphlets, catalogs, products as giveaways, and you know, and my goal was, you know, to produce better than me, and Frankie Morales is like the ultimate success story of my hard work.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, Chris, thank you for all the hard work you've done, and it's awesome to see you still being a part of the industry. And you know, it's really cool and nostalgic to see you like driving the RV with the Gods guys, and we're all looking forward to seeing what comes of that. And I know you're going to be around working with Frankie for years to come, and just looking forward to seeing everything that's going on. So thanks for taking the time to say hello. And Chris, always much love, man.
Hey, of course. All you got to do is feed me some bang, and I can drive you anywhere.
Don't get my boy no bang.
Love you guys.
Later, Chris.
Love you too, man. All right, cool. I think, you know, we're getting a little tight on time, so we should jump into some of these questions, if that's okay with you, Frankie. We're going to try to squeeze as many in as we can. I know we only got a little bit of time, but let's jump straight into those Patreon questions, Austin, if you have them lined up.
Yeah, we'll do like 1 or 2 Patreon questions, then we'll jump into the live ones. Like we say each episode, we prioritize the super chat questions. If you are watching live, half our proceeds go to our guest. So Frankie gets half of the super chats, and we're going to prioritize those. So keep your questions going right now. We're going to do the Patreon ones real fast. First Patreon questions from Nathan Bentley, who says, the one video intro ender, the roof bank to 540, is that a one and done trick, or were there multiple attempts? If so, what is the process for lacing such a high risk spot and trick?
Good question.
Wait,
Yeah, sick trick.
which one? I'm sorry.
In the one video, you 540'd over the roof over Arlo when he's like standing
With
there.
Arlo.
Shit.
He said, was that first try? Second try? He's like, what's the thought
Second
process
try.
for such a high risk trick and spot?
Shit, not thinking about the high risk. I definitely didn't think about falling. I just thought about landing the goddamn thing. I was like, I know I can land this shit, so I just thought about that. Every time, bro, you know how the brain is. You think about, you hit a rail, you do so grand, and then you're like, how the hell do I not nut this rail? And then you nut the rail when you think about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's skating's all mental, and there's all these like things your brain gets in your own way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
a good question. That's a good question to ask, like how you do a question like that. But I was just thinking, man, it's so hard to differentiate. Frankie has so many
yeah.
kinds of tricks like that.
Hmm.
Like off
Mm.
like huge platforms into like sketchy banks or
Like quarter pipes.
transitions, and yeah,
Yeah, you were
I
in
feel like
that.
that's like one of your strengths.
Yeah, you were in that little era where you were just like 540 or 900 from decks
Yeah.
into quarter pipes in every single contest, and it's like just jumping in forward to that shit's scary as hell.
Mhm.
Oh man.
We have a second Patreon question from HJJ All Day who asks, "What is your workout or exercise regimen outside of skating? I'm guessing 10,000 squats a day, but would love to know for real." I guess because you
Oh
hops.
damn. Uh, right now, because of my whole knee, and I've been going through knee therapy. So I've been doing quite a lot of just therapy. So I do a lot of pistol squats and a lot of stretching before. But before that, bro, I just did normal workouts. I just skate a lot, bro. I like just put on my skates and I put them on in the morning and I don't take them off till like 9 or 10. That's like what it is. I just skate and jump, skate and jump, skate and jump. Like my feet don't even get blisters anymore. Like they just fucking just skate. That's all I do. I really don't work out. I was just talking about that to my boy yesterday. He's like, "You eat like shit, Frank." I do, bro. I eat a lot of McDonald's. And he's like, "Yeah, but you're surprisingly in like good ass shape. How the fuck?" I'm like, "Cause I just burn it. I just burn it.
Yep.
Like,
No,
that's it."
it's true. I got a friend who's like this, like he's like the same. He's like this like black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy and he eats McDonald's and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like a super athlete. And he's like, yeah, I
Right.
just burn it off all the time. I just keep moving. You keep moving, you burn it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, all right.
That is true. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
I always say that too to people also. Not that I'm like a health guru or like an older guy or anything like that, but like ride the bike, run, jog, skate as much as you
Yeah.
can. Don't be sitting at a desk 40 hours a week and then expect to like bust ass at the skate park on the weekend. Like just stay moving, and that does so much for you that you don't even notice. And you're having fun doing it too. Just skate more. Like you want to skate anyway, just fucking skate more.
Yeah, and then drink a lot of water, bro. My boy Sandy, he's fucking. I drink a lot of like carbonated drinks and Gatorade and shit like that. He's actually my business partner. Shout out to my nigga Sandy. He fucking water, apple, fucking banana. Shout out to my motherfucking wife too, man, Stephanie. She got my back, man. Bro. I want to say some shit, like I want to say something, but I feel stupid if I say it now because like I just worked on this other. I got a lot of things coming, right? So I want to like say like, yo, you guys tap into this, but it'll kill the whole launch, right?
Well,
But
you know
whatever.
what? If you ever want to the thing that you're working on, if you want to come onto our show and announce it, we can do a quick special. If you want, we could run it back and do it again. So you're always welcome on the show. No need to feel rushed now. You always have a voice through us. Just hit us up. But I don't want you to blow the surprise either, especially if it's something you've been working on so hard. I like surprises, so I want you to continue to build it up and it be the biggest thing it's supposed to be. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. FM Invitational 3, October 22nd. We're going to announce that, so it'll actually be here and you can see what I'm talking about, and I'll actually announce it in the web too, so other people that are not here, they can actually experience it too. But October 22nd, make sure you guys are here because it's gonna be a fucking movie. Trust me.
Sick. I love that. Oh man. Okay. We already talked. I was supposed to get out to the last one. I'm coming out to this one, October 22nd. Make sure you get out there. And the first
Yes,
one,
sir.
you get, you always find the way. You'll have like huge high prize money. Like I just, it's awesome, man. You don't do anything half-ass, man. So it's gonna be a great event. I'm definitely gonna try to make my way down there. I haven't been to Miami in years, so I'm gonna be there,
All right.
100%. But
Fire.
let's
Yeah,
should
I
should
can't
we?
wait to have you guys, bro. For real, man. I missed you on the last one, so it's gonna be sick having
Yeah,
you
yeah.
over here, Fish.
Bro, I can't wait. I swear, last time I was in Miami I was with you when you lived in Pembroke Pines.
Yeah.
I
Remember you were
haven't
gonna
been to
do a
Miami
true
in forever.
porn. Bro, I
Yep.
remember. I still talk about it to this day. You wanted to true porn Gap, the airlines. It was like a kink.
Airlines.
True porn
Yeah,
gap? What do you mean true porn gap? Off a kink?
it was like
No, it's a gap to
well,
rail.
Oh,
Gap to rail, but it's a kink rail, right? But it's a drop, right? So like if you fuck, you die, pretty much. This nigga's like, I want to true. I'm like, the fuck.
Back in
I
the
can see
day
you doing
stuff.
that too. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Like what the for no reason. Like you just gonna do it for the glory. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Glory bladers, man. Soul skaters, you know?
For real.
Let's keep it moving with the super chat questions right now. First one is from Chris Crowder, who says, Frankie is the GOAT. Thank you so much for being an inspiration in my life since I was a kid. Really appreciate your contributions to Crowder Powder. Let's keep grinding and elevating the sport together. P.S. Chino skate? Indeed.
Yeah, man. We working, man. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to Chris, man. Chris has always been a supporter. He comes out to every event. And yeah, my boy kills it on the drums too, man. So watch out for my boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been seeing Chris in a lot of your guys' stuff. There's like the long-standing joke between Chris Edwards and Chris Crowder, which Chris is which.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I didn't know he was a drummer. I'm a drummer too, so I definitely got to link up with Chris and we got to get a session going.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure he'll be here for the FM, bro. Maybe you can bring some drums and shit. Have my boy play something. I'll be sick. Some live.
Oh, that'd be
That would
dope.
be real sick. Jam session.
Let's get into some more of these super chats. Ray Mendez on a very generous super chat. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Ray Mendez. He says, Frankie is one of the best things to ever happen to our sport and culture. I agree. Thank you,
My
Mr.
lord.
Morales, for all that you've done and that you continue to do. Not a question, but it's a very nice thing to say.
Very
Yeah,
nice. And
man.
very
Thank you,
generous
Ray,
donation.
bro. Thank you, Ray, bro. Bro, Ray's my brother too, man. He took me around, New York and shit when I was a youngin' and shit. I actually jumped. It sounds fucking stupid, but I jumped into my like disgusting. Actually, I jumped into the trash, the big trash you guys have it like on the side of the streets and shit.
Yeah.
He
I
said the
fucking
trash you guys
yeah,
have.
yeah. Like we don't have them on the floor. You put them in the
Yeah.
fucking like
New York,
garbage
we,
can.
we
You
don't
guys
have garbage pails. We throw garbage bags on the street. Yeah, it just
on
sounds
the
funny the
street.
way he said it.
Yeah, no, I jumped into that shit though. I was just like, wee, like it was something. I remember doing that shit with him, going through Manhattan and shit, like skating, like nighttime with Ray, going to who was it, John Ortiz's house. Good memories, bro. Good memories. Shout out to my nigga Ray too, man. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Thanks for the donation too. We just get into regular questions. That's as far as super chat questions. That's all we got so far. Billy, do you have any regular questions lined up?
No, don't have any regular questions because we didn't ask because we had only a certain amount of time. I don't know if you have one or two more on the Patreon, we could ask that. And then I think we'll just do shout outs and let Frankie go because we were only supposed to have him for an hour. He agreed to stay for an hour 15, which we're at. If we could hang on a little longer, that'd be great. But if not, that's fine.
There's one more Patreon question I could get to. It was
Okay, let's shoot that.
It was a double question, so I figured I'd cut it short so we could do some of the super chats. But HJJ All Day also had another question who said, what happened to the rollerblade data video? Why did it never get released? And what happened to the clip scene in the trailer? I have no idea what this is in reference to.
Wait, what?
Rollerblade
The
data video? DADA,
data?
unless that's a typo or something.
Well, you
Yeah,
did it. It was like Black Dada, someone you did a music video with.
I did a video with Black Data, yeah, but
Yeah.
is he saying like I
Oh,
rollerbladed in the video?
maybe.
Well,
Was there anything
I
skating related?
I don't understand that question either. Like,
so
there's a music video for it.
there's a music video. It's
Yeah.
called "I Made It," and it's crazy. I went through so many transitions as far as my name. I used to be called Frankie Morales, Frankie M's, Frank Yuck Yuckum. Now I'm Frankie OK because of my music. Yeah, there's a song called "I Made It" featuring Black Data, and I do rollerblade, and I do like a couple grinds and shit like that. So I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but if you're trying to talk about that or you're talking about that, that's what it's called. I made it and it never got taken down.
Okay.
Sick.
I had no idea what that was in reference to. I thought it was like a old rollerblade video from when you skated for rollerblade or something. I didn't get that.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure.
I gotta say though, I really like that. Like when you were doing the music videos and involving rollerblading in it, because that's like even when Dylan Cooper was doing that, I was like, man, that's like such a risk, like in the music industry, because like
Oh yeah.
it's almost like rollerblading is almost like this thing you can't touch or like I mean, it's almost like because skateboarding is like you don't skateboard. No disrespect to skateboarding. Skateboarding's a great culture, and they've done a fantastic job, and they have great people in as a part of it. But I feel like it's one of those things like people who don't skate can pick up a skateboard and kind of latch on to the clout of skateboarding and kind of get a lot of popularity from it. But in rollerblading, you could be like one of the best rollerbladers and incorporate it in your video, and it could actually hurt the music sometimes or hurt your chances of getting out there. I know for Dylan Cooper, he was saying specifically that when he was using his blading in his videos, that like Echo was like he was like doing things with Echo, and Echo was like kind of hating on it. And just because it looked, I think in like this, in the bigger companies or the more trendy companies, it was like this thing that was kind of generally accepted as lame. But I think it's really cool that you were able to, just have the huevos. I was trying to say the right word without saying like a bad word, but I think you had the courage to kind of go out there and do that. And I think like with a lot of them, you did some really good work. Like I love the one you did with Erod in Long Beach, where you're like skating and rapping in the skating while doing tricks. Like you're like imagine your rap. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. I thought that was like really cool. But
that was a BET contest. That's funny. Yeah, I remember that. That was fucking dope. Yeah, man. I just, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to do cool things. I never have a problem or shame representing rollerblading in any fucking form. I think rollerblading is fucking fire. You know what I mean? Like, I think I do the coolest fucking sport in the world, to be honest with you. And fucking, it's funny, bro. Nowadays, I don't know if it's, obviously I skate like I skate, but those fucking skates right there, because of these skates, I can go to any urban fucking place and I can do what I normally do. But when I'm doing with those motherfucking shits, they already see it automatic. And then I swag it out and do my thing. They're like, yo, this shit is fucking raw as fuck. Like, how you do that? Da, da, da. So now, I think now if I was to do something like that where I put rollerblading, it'll do really good. And you know how it is, man. Social media, they're not playing. You get canceled for any of that bullshit nowadays. You can't call a motherfucker, like, you can't even say the word, any word that I don't even want to say.
Yeah, like, you don't even say it. I don't want you to get canceled. Don't say it.
I mean? Like, I don't even, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta just be careful what you say. So, like, nowadays, you can't call anybody anything racist or anything like crazy where you may seem like that, bro, because you just seem like a bully and you just seem small. Like, why would you degrade somebody for what they do? And it's tight as fuck, but then you're calling them lame, or you're calling them fruit booters, you're calling whatever you want to call them, and it's just bad, bro. You look like an idiot now, and then you can't do that now. That's it. So now they can't even get away with anybody trying to make you look lame and be like, oh, this guy's this, bro. You see what the hell the motherfucker's doing? He's flying in the air, and then he's spinning, and he's making that look fucking fire, and then he's jumping and he's grinding. Like, hell no, bro. This shit is fire. I don't care what you say. And if you say some weird shit, you sound like a hater, you're canceled. You know what I mean? So I think I think now it's the time. If anybody wants to, like, do that, they can now. But yeah, man, back then when I did it, even Dylan, shout out to Dylan, like, you took a risk, bro, because it was frowned upon. You know what it is. You've been dealing with it for a while.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, like that hate and stuff just doesn't go over like it used to, and that was like a thing that was going against blading for such a long time. But I think even we're getting to a point, because I've always felt this way. Like, why would other people's actions bother you so much? You have like so much to do in your own life. It's like people are like worried so much about what the next person is doing. Like, I feel like that's even like becoming a thing. Like, worry about yourself. You know what I mean? And and exactly. So I feel like and that respect is starting to go around. So it's cool. And I gotta say, as a culture, like, we're blessed to have so many people. And I don't want to give you an overwhelming amount, because I can only take so much praise in my life. But I just want to say, like, it's huge that we have someone like you that's in our industry with such a positive attitude, still pushing forward, been around for years, and out there, to be blatantly honest, just making blading look cool, like on blades, off blades. You great representative for our sport, man. So we got to celebrate you for as long as we have you, and I hope we have you for forever, man. So
agreed, definitely agreed.
We did get a couple of last, of course, Frankie, of course, man. Like, I mean it. But got a couple of last minute super chats. Gonna run through these real quick. do some shout outs and we're going to let you go. Colin Martin says, great stories. Frankie, how can I spin like you?
Just spin, boy.
Practice.
Yeah, practice, bro. Practice makes perfect, man. You just spin, bro. Like for me, that's funny you say that. I was just teaching one of the homies how to spin, and I always tell him just, wind up and lift up your knees as far as you can. Just keep your knees up. That way you can have just more air time if you don't want to go high and get hurt. But yeah, practice, bro. Where practice makes perfect. That's all it is. Or not even perfect, but you'll get damn near.
So
I'm sure you can spin, Colin. Why are you frying?
Yeah, that's his name, Colin.
Colin Martin. Yeah.
Colin Martin, yeah.
Oh yeah, he could spin.
Well, we've kept you a little longer than we said we were going to keep you. I really appreciate you making the time to talk to us today, and I know everyone who's watching is going to appreciate it as well. Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs, words of wisdom, last words, parting words in the community that you want to say before we let you go?
I just want to say to all my bladers, rollerbladers, whatever y'all want to call yourself, fucking keep on skating, man, and stay away from the hate. I know it can be crazy sometimes. There's a lot of social media where people are doing a lot of bullying, a lot of crazy talk. Stay away from all that shit, bro. Just keep having fun and skate, man. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Stephanie. She's been helping me with everything, like everything I do. So, and she's been killing it on her skate. So special shout out to my wife, Stephanie, man. I love you. And shout out to my kids. Shout out to my boy Chris, my boy Robert, my boy Sandy, Carlos, everybody, man. Shout out to you guys, man, for having me on the show. Appreciate you guys for real. Shout out to Joe, Richard, Eric. All my G's, man. Love you guys, man. Thank you for having me. I feel blessed, and hopefully I can keep doing this for a long time. Gang.
Hell yeah, Frankie. I just want to say, and I'm sorry if I'm Austin, I know I'm chatting a lot here. Sorry about that.
Go for it.
But I just want to say, everyone, if who's joined this, please continue to watch what Frankie's doing. October 22nd, there's the Frankie Morales Invitational 3. The first two have been a huge success. We're going to make this one bigger than ever. So please check that out. And we're going to be staying tuned to seeing what you got coming up in the future, man. We're going to be following very closely to see what's coming next, because we know you're always working on the next thing. So keep in touch with everything, and we look forward to seeing what you do.
My boy, man. Thank you for having me, guys. Austin, thank you, Billy. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Much love.
Hell yeah, Frankie. Thanks so much for coming on. Everybody, thank you for watching the show. Thanks again one more time to our sponsor, Blank. Check out the new Sean Keen Pro Model Skate, available worldwide in all sizes. So check it out. Frankie, you the man. Looking forward to see what you got going on. We'll catch you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Peace, everybody.
Much love.
Later.